Welcome to our first episode of our podcast. This is Distant Youth. Distant Youth.
Woo!
Jesus Christ. I was gonna introduce you without you making noise, but with me is my co-host Darla right here, the beautiful Darla.
Hi, everyone.
She wanted to join me, and so we had this idea just to make a little show, just to talk about random shit, psychological shit, whatever. It's all around here in this show. We don't limit ourselves to any subjects or anything. We just talk about whatever. And this is going to be our first episode ever aired on this channel. So, welcome everybody. Hope you guys like the intro. That took a long time. It took a long time to make. Took like a few.
I didn't make it, but Daniel made it.
Yeah.
So
No,
Woohoo!
all me.
Yay!
Yeah. So, little introduction with ourselves. If you just want to know a little bit about us, I'm actually a mechanical engineer. I'm currently going to school right now. Just a normal 20-year-old guy, just trying to live life, do shit. That sounded like the most nerdy shit in the world, but whatever. Who cares? Darla, do you want to say anything about yourself?
I'm currently freshly 18 and starting off my school semester next week, going for cinema and film study. Yeah.
Cinema.
I am, unlike me, I am actually not a nerd like Daniel.
Yeah, but that, opposites attract, so, all that bullshit. So.
Woohoo!
Stop saying woohoo. You sound
Why?
So
What's wrong with saying woohoo?
You sound so geeky.
It's like I'm a geek, you're the one that's a nerd, bro.
Yeah, but it sounds...
Have you ever seen that one meme where it's like that girl, she's like, oh boy, Christmas, just a week away.
You literally sound like her, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you've listened back to the recordings that we were doing, but you literally sound like her.
Oh boy, Christmas, just a week away.
I'm so happy about this information. Like,
woohoo!
So, like, like, I don't know, that's such a weird, like, audio, just like unfiltered, just
like,
but everyone had to make it weird by editing it and shit. Like, I don't get
adding
that.
like Breaking Bad into it.
Was that one of them?
Yeah, it's like what is it? They have that picture of Walter White and they're like, woohoo! And then the Walter White picture in the middle of it, and they're like, just a week away. Oh boy, I'm so happy that Walter White. And then she finishes the last part.
They just edit it like Walter White. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I've seen a few of those, but not a Breaking Bad one, to be honest.
Well, you're just a nerd, so maybe you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen Breaking Bad at all, actually.
I've seen just some episodes of it, however, not the
I want to get into it, but to be honest, there's so many other good shows. I mean, I'm not saying Breaking Bad isn't good, but I'm just trying to give everything a chance.
I just feel like it was good back then. However, now that it's like resurfacing due to TikTok, it's like becoming more
it's going to be popular for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially since it just ended. I feel like there's still a long way for memes to go as far as Breaking Bad.
I feel like the memes that are out now is just the start of it.
Which is, which makes me want to watch it. Like, it just makes me want to keep fucking, like, every time I see it, it's just like, damn. It's a subtle reminder that I need to fucking put that on my watch list and just get it over with.
That was like me with Euphoria. Like, when season 2 came out, it was just all over my feed. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just give it a shot and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't too bad, in my opinion. However, other people are like,
fucking
oh,
Euphoria.
well, Yeah, they're just like, ooh, that show is so garbage, and I'm just
I haven't
like,
seen it,
well,
but just it. I'm
it doesn't catch your attention, does it?
no. I mean, it looks terrible. It looks like some chick flick. It looks like some
Chick flick
chick
is
flick with
crazy.
Zendaya. It's with Zendaya as like the main marketing scheme. Like, I mean, to be honest, that's just what it looks like. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't really.
I feel like it really depends on what you like and what you watch. You know, it's not really for everyone.
Which is everything. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Ever since I like just saw it getting trendy, I was like, you know what? I don't have any interest in this shit. It looks terrible.
Seems boring.
Yeah, fucking.
Well,
But that was a lot of shows for me, and then they actually ended up pretty good. Like the Boondocks, which I need to finish. I need to fucking finish that soon.
see, I've seen clips of that show, and it seems pretty funny.
That
I remember
is
people
funny.
talking to me
It
about
is
that. They were
hilarious.
like, bro,
It
you should totally watch this show.
it
And
is
I'm just
so
like,
good, dude. And I fucking love Huey, the curly haired one. He is so fucking like chill.
my favorite is Uncle Ruckus.
I fucking hate him. I hate him with a passion, man. How could
Well,
you be like? How could you be so misguided? Oh man, no one, whoever doesn't watch the show, I'm sorry, but oh man, Uncle Ruckus, I fucking hate him, dude. I just hate him.
well,
But that just
to be honest,
why do you
I
like
feel
him?
like that shows. I feel like that shows most of society today misguided.
Yeah, honestly. But what do you like about Uncle Ruckus? Why do you like him?
I feel like it's the way that he's more older, and Huey tries to like tell him the new age and what they say.
Mm-hmm.
For example, he's like, I think Uncle Ruckus said something very sus, and then Huey was like, pause. You gotta say no homo at the end.
Wasn't that
So it's
Riley?
like- Was it?
It was Riley. That's not Huey.
Oh,
You're fake.
my fault. I'm not fake. I'm telling you. I
Riley-
even said it from the start.
Ri-
Listen, buddy. I
Riley's
said it
the
from
one
the
with
start.
the dreadlocks.
Really?
Yes, Huey's the one with the afro.
Man, I can't believe this is going live too. Well, I did give a disclaimer in the start. I only saw some clips, so my apologies if I don't know all the characters' name or I said the wrong name.
At least you knew Uncle Ruckus. All right, you get credit for that.
And Huey.
And Huey.
Yeah.
Dude, Huey's a badass. I don't know how far you're into the show, but oh man,
Like I just said, I only saw clips of it. So it's not like
if you ever like fully watched it, you would love Huey. I hate Uncle Ruckus because like oh god, I'm glad because there's some parts like I think the whole quirk of him is that he's like a racist to his own kind.
Yeah.
But it's funny because in the show they give him so much karma for that. He's like always like getting mistaken for like crimes and shit because like of his race sometimes, and that shit's fucking hilarious. I think he deserves it. I fucking hate Uncle Ruckus. I get that's the whole joke of him, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
However, it's like what I said in the beginning. It reminds me of like society, how like, people of color sometimes they're racist to their own kind.
And yeah, dude, I had a friend one time who was saying that you can't be racist to your own kind. Yes, you fucking can. 100% you can.
Yeah. It's like Spanish being like racist to their own kind, black people being racist to their own kind, even the Asians.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
It's
can
crazy.
do. It's very easy to betray your own kind. Have you ever seen Django?
No.
Django, one of the main villains is a fucking black guy, and so Django's like a slave movie, and
Right.
and like the main antagonist is like a white dude, like a rich white dude, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his
Of course.
yeah, right, and his assistant is black. His secondhand man is black, and like always like treating the slaves like shit, and like so 100% you can be racist to your own kind. It's been proven already.
I don't know why. It's like, how could you be racist to your own kind after everything that has happened?
It's stereotypes in the end. Stereotypes is what do it because I mean Uncle Ruckus's whole thing is like, oh, black people they're uneducated and all that shit. It's all stereotypes. I think the funniest thing about Uncle Ruckus is like he tries to say that he's black because of a reverse condition of vertigo. He's like, I have the condition that Michael Jackson had, but it's reverse. So
Oh my
he turns
gosh.
black instead of white. I think that's hilarious. But then they prove that he was lying and he's actually black. But yeah, no, that shit's funny.
It is pretty funny,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
In your opinion,
Yeah, in my opinion, that's pretty funny. However, I
can
feel
something be funny in a factual state though? Like it can be funny in an opinionated state, but can it be?
I feel like it depends on your humor, though.
like what Joker said. Humor is subjective, Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that one time, what was it? I was in the car, and my brothers are over there talking about how one of them is capping. And so,
What?
the joke that I made, right, is, the cereal Captain Crunch?
Yes.
I looked at them, and I was like, bro, someone here is Captain Cap.
Oh my god.
And I sat there dying for like a good minute, and they're like, you're not funny. That wasn't funny.
I think you deserve that, to be honest.
I found it pretty funny. However, that goes to show not everyone's humor is
I mean,
is
you got
the
me.
same.
You had me wheeze for a second, so I'll give you that. I guess.
That's some type of credit.
No, humor is, dude. I've lost friends to my humor. Seriously.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I got very dark humor. It's funny.
I know.
I will joke about anything. It's
I know.
it's very bold doing this in the first episode, letting people know, because then they could go and look back and be like, "Hey, what did this guy do?" If they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But they don't know who I am. They just see a first name. They don't see a fucking identity. So that's the funny
They don't
part.
see your social security.
No, I'm not even talking about that. Like I'm like there's no channel or anything leaked to any of my shit. Like I could be I could be 100 Daniels.
Bro can be an imposter.
Sure. Oh my god, I fucking hate Among Us. You
It
just
was like
you
that
brought
one
to the
time.
table.
It's like that one time how you sent me your notes, and then I was like, do my eyes deceive me?
Oh. Editor, put a picture of that because oh my god, that shit was so stupid. You
It
literally
was.
like took like some kind of letter or number or something. you, I hate you. I don't even know.
I know. I
Oh.
know.
God. I was yeah, I think that was like on the day before the final too. God, I can't believe I'm already back in school.
I felt like that was a little too soon.
Yeah,
felt
this
like
is
the
for
whole
those of
week
you
off.
who are watching. This was aired on January 10th. This is being recorded right now on January 10th. You guys are gonna see this on the 18th, but it's like a week, my first week into school, so I'm just getting back into the groove and shit. It's fucking rainy over here, by the way. Stormy weather. Shout out to those Californians who have to deal with this shit. Fucking
And
annoying.
it's actually pretty dark outside where I am. I actually live in the east. I live in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. My parents went there in the east.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know where they went, but they went there for sure. I don't know
That's
what
not
they
so
went
bad.
to. Yeah, no, I'm not saying nothing, but I just forgot what they went to see, to be honest. I just I know they went to the East Coast and that's one of the places they went to. They went to Virginia too. But I don't know any of the sites they saw, to be honest.
Probably wasn't that interesting to you.
No, maybe not. I was younger, so, didn't really care.
Pennsylvania? What's over there?
I lost control on the freeway like twice today.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was like shitload of puddles and shit, so thank
Yeah.
God I didn't get in a crash. And I
remember I
don't
was
speed
at
either,
my
so that shit
job.
was weird. Like I wasn't speeding or nothing. I go under 60 in the rain. Because last time I went over 60, that almost ended even worse.
I feel like that's my worst fear of driving is that when it starts raining, the roads get slippery
Mhm.
and people drive very stupid.
Oh yeah, there are
nowadays.
people who will like just speed on the freeway and just like swerve around everyone, just change lanes constantly. And you know
There
what?
was-
That sucks. If they find out the hard way, that's only their fault.
No,
It's
because one time we were on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what ends up happening is this guy doesn't even put no turn signals, and so he's just going swerving left and right, like hella fast on the highway. And
Mhm.
it's like, my brother in Christ, that is super scary. Like,
Yeah.
where do you have to go at this the speed?
They don't have to go anywhere. It's just they're just in a rush all the time. I don't get that.
It's not a rush, guys.
Especially in the rain. I don't
Driving.
understand that. What's the point? Do you wanna die fast? I mean, is that your whole goal? Like, what the fuck you doing, man?
No, you know what else is scary? It's like when you're there on the highway and the water level is like, there's a lot of water, so when you're driving, what is it? It splashes.
Yeah.
Like, you know how it splashes, and it's to the point where you can't even see.
I just think it's worse when your tires get submerged. That shit's annoying.
Yeah.
That shit's annoying. Really annoying. Especially
I just
with like if you're going downhill and then back uphill, you're like in the pit of the freeway or the highway, whatever the fuck, where it's like flooded the most. That's totally not anxiety inducing whatsoever.
I just feel like overall, if the day I have to start driving, I would just look at the weather and be like, oh, is it raining? Oh, well, it's raining. I guess I'm not going out today.
Yeah. Big L.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to cancel.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah, it's
You
been
know what else is scary? Ice on the road.
I have never experienced ice on the road and I'm thankful
Oh,
for that.
I forgot.
Yeah. West
Haha.
Coasters. West Coasters. Shout out
Can't
to all the
relate.
West Coast. Yeah. No ice over here.
Oh,
We've gotten
must
hail
be nice.
like one time, or I think like twice in my life, but other than that, rarely deal with ice.
No snow, no ice. Man, how does that feel, having no snow? Do you ever dream of like seeing snow?
I mean, you can go to the mountains. It's
That's
still
not
there.
fun, though.
What do you mean?
That's
This-
not fun. I meant like the cold, freezing cold weather. Like, I'm talking about like in the negatives.
Why would I want that? I don't want to freeze to
Like,
death.
you don't want to experience that?
Negative Fahrenheit is insane. Negative Fahrenheit go crazy. That is
happened here
deadly.
one time.
That
It was like, and you know what? It was negative Fahrenheit one time, and I still took my ass to work walking.
negative Fahrenheit. I've never heard of that. Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck,
It gets cold here to the point that it could go into the negative.
Jesus. Oh man, wow.
There was a point in time where it was like 2 degrees, 1 degree.
Dude, the West Coast complains if it's like 40 degrees outside. There's no shot
Oh,
we'd
I
survive.
can imagine.
There's no shot we'd survive. I went to the East Coast a while back with a friend, and they were saying how like they were used to the cold and shit, and I was like complaining how it was like 50 degrees, and they're like, "Bruh, this is baby shit."
nothing.
Yeah, like, and I mean, I don't know what it is with the East Coast, but it always looks colder too. Like in the West
Yeah.
Coast here, I can't explain it, but as someone who's been in both sides, it just looks colder and more like just freezing. Like it has more of like a
No.
cooler tone to it.
I just feel like you would have to come experience the East Coast during like midwinter, like just straight in the middle of midwinter.
I have.
You'll realize how cold it is.
Yeah, I have. I went there in like late January, so that's like midwinter. I have experienced it, just not enough though. I'm still very used
Early
to California. Never moving
You
out of
probably
here.
came over, bro. You probably came over here with just a hoodie and short sleeves.
I think I did. I think you're right about that. I used to dress really warm, but now I'm starting to get cozier, especially since Cali all of a sudden wants to start raining again. All of a sudden wants to act like it don't have a drought. Like just pretending. Like Cali just doesn't know what it wants to be. It never knows. It could be
That's like-
extremely hot tomorrow. Like we'll never know.
That was like in Jersey. In Jersey, it's like you wake up, you go outside, and in the morning, it's like almost 4 degrees. Then midday, it's like spring. Then evening, it's like autumn. Or it's really
Bro,
hot.
going through the 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, Jersey's like experiencing the 4 seasons in one day.
For real, what the fuck?
Especially during the fall time. It's like, it's not even fall weather. It's still summer weather. By the time maybe like late September,
Mhm.
we're still in 70 degrees. And then by October, it'll go down to like 60s. But I don't live in Jersey no more. So it's
Yeah,
like
fuck Jersey.
even
Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
fuck Jersey.
Fuck you, Jersey. You bitches. Should I
There's
say that?
There's nothing to do in Jersey.
I don't know if I should say that. This is the first episode. I want to make a good impression.
I mean,
Fuck Jersey. Fuck
we
you
already
guys.
had the Boondocks episode. we already just spoke about the Boondocks, so
Yeah,
at
but we
this
didn't say
point-
shit. I mean, we didn't make any jokes about. Man, Boondocks would not survive in today's society for sure. No doubt.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like, if you've seen the jokes they make, oh my god, they're top tier. Top tier. Fucking great.
What's another show? Maybe Rick and Morty.
Okay, so I was watching that with a friend, and
Right.
and to be honest, first of all, we didn't finish it, so I'm kind of like on a hiatus with that one. And I know whenever I watch something with friends, I always want to finish with the same person. But
Right.
I don't know. What do you think about Rick and Morty? I want to hear what you think.
I like it. However, it really depends on what type of day or how you're feeling when you're watching it.
Does
you
it
know?
really? Does it?
I mean,
Are there really shows like that?
yeah. Well, it also depends on the person too.
Well, what do you think about it? I'm not asking about other people. I'm asking about you. What do you think about it?
In my opinion, I feel like it's pretty okay. However, there's times where it's like, okay, what was even the point of this episode?
You know, that's, it's like weird because it's like they make their own plots and they make these super, super convoluted like stories. Convoluted.
Right.
And, and you know, it's like, it excuses it. They can do that because it's a fucking cartoon and it's not meant to be serious. But I don't know. Like the humor is just weird for me. I one thing I do like about it is that like the shit's so crazy sometimes that like it's funny how Rick like has a grasp of everything and knows everything about shit, and like you as the viewer and Morty just don't know shit. So it's just like when you're trying to get an explanation of it, it's just so funny because it's so chaotic. And it's like Rick is the only one that can comprehend or like know anything about like what's going on. I like that.
But what amazes me is that he knows all of this, yet sometimes he can act like an ass.
Well, that's the whole point of his character.
True.
He's just a fucking drunken grandpa.
Who knows shit.
Yeah. I think the Jerry hate kind of gets a little old. I think they've been doing that for
It
a long
does.
time. And
That's what it was.
I think he needs I mean, I don't know if he. Again, I haven't watched too far in the show. I hope he has a redemption episode where he looks cool for an episode, and I'm sure he'll go right back to being lame after that. But, you know. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, really. Honestly,
What's your overall rating on it?
Oh, that's a good question. Me 6 out of 10.
Wasn't say I'd give it maybe like 6.5 out of 10.
You heard what I said, though? Me 6 out of 10. That was stupid, I know.
You're so funny.
Cringe.
You got a chuckle out of me, so I'll give you that.
And I'm really bad at binging shows, too. Like, just in general. I don't binge a lot of shows. I'm mostly on YouTube. YouTube is my fucking Netflix.
Oh yeah, I know. We were watching, what is it? Stupid Drivers.
I love that. I gotta get back into that.
We haven't watched that in a long time.
You reminded me. Shit. Okay, well, I guess I know what I'm gonna do this week.
You were just like, do you want to watch like people driving stupid on the highway? I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
I love it, but also I'm glad I stopped watching it for a bit because now I started driving in the rain and it's kind of it would kind of make me paranoid, to be honest.
I feel like after watching that, it made me want to invest in a dash cam.
Okay, see, that's another thing. I was trying to get my whole family dash cams,
Right?
because I'm an engineer and I can afford that. Anyways, so I wanted to get on dash cams, but then I think I was telling you already, but the setups are so fucking tedious for some of them. Like you have to plug it into the car battery, and these wires are all over your car, and
Into
depending
the
on which,
car battery.
yeah, not into the car
No
battery, but
thanks.
like the 12-volt, little outlet they have in the front of your dashboard.
Right.
You have to plug some of those dash cams into that. Some of them are wireless, but if they're wireless, they usually suck. But it's just really tedious and annoying. And I want to like do more research, but I'm looking for something that's like convenient to set up and just like good quality. Apparently that's a
what?
lot to ask for.
At that point, I would just hire someone to do it for me.
Guess we could do that. I could do that. I don't know. It's a lot of
Or
cars.
just ask someone that knows what to do.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not as hard. I was looking up a video and I was watching someone set it up, and maybe it wasn't as hard as I wanted to make it sound like it, but I don't know. As someone who just doesn't have all the time in the world, dash cams are kind of annoying to set up, just from what I've seen. It's just like,
Yeah.
but is it worth it? Probably. Can save you like 7 accounts of insurance fraud. So
Do you think that like oh well let me ask this. Do you think there's any cars out there that has a dash cam already built in?
all built into the car.
Yeah. That's like already
don't
built
know.
in.
That's a
You
good
just
question.
buy the car.
That would be really. They should do that more often.
Well, yeah, with technology advancing nowadays.
I
like,
think Tesla's
especially-
going to be, if it isn't already a thing, Tesla's definitely going to be the first. Or
I
I could see Hyundai doing that too. I don't know. That is a really good idea. If they have not done that already, car manufacturers, get to it. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, I gotta sneeze.
yeah, how about bless you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
That was such an aggressive sneeze. Bro sounded like he was sneezing his brain out.
I just I sneezed the entire population of Italy out of my nose.
Oh my gosh. Bro wiped out Pompeii.
That was good. Fucking dumb, but good. Oh my
So
god,
funny.
dude. So I got back to school today,
Right.
and
So
it was
how did that go?
so honestly not too bad. I'm learning about dynamics, and
Already?
that's yeah. So dynamics is basically shit that moves, just forces, all that shit.
Right.
And turns out, first of all, that I have the same. I already have the textbook, and it was the one that was used for a prerequisite of this class, actually. So that's pretty sick. I already had the textbook.
Saves you money.
Yeah, but also the class got so much smaller. Like, okay, so the prerequisite of dynamics is statics. For any of you the guys nerds that know these classes, you guys probably know that these are pretty hard classes, involves forces, physics. The first class, statics, was actually pretty fucking loaded. Like 20, 30 people. This class,
That's a lot.
10 people.
Oh.
Barely even a class. Like almost like a club at this point. But it was just kind of like, because usually with a lot of engineers, you have to take dynamics. Dynamics is very important with shit like this. Like it's very crucial to know. But I guess a lot of people just either, I don't know. I have a few theories on it, but my main theory is that people just didn't want to take it. Probably too.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
It'd be a little too advanced.
I was gonna
However,
say
that
probably
comes to
like
show
too
you.
intimidating. But I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, because I don't know. Just when a class shrinks like that, it's just kind of like weird. It's like, what? Why? And you're starting school
Well,
soon, so
realistically, I would take that as an achievement because if there's only 10 people in that class, including me, I'd be like, shit, well,
Oh,
I guess
100%.
not many people
Yeah.
could do it. However, I'm part of the few that's willing to take on that challenge.
100%. I agree with you. That's how I felt with Calculus 3.
Oh, I remember that.
This is getting a little too nerdy for my taste, but basically, Calculus 3 is the third calculus. If you already know what a lot of you should know what calculus is. But
You're all
basically,
pretty old.
yeah. What the fuck is our demographic gonna be? Is it gonna be like little kids, or is it gonna be like teens? It'll be like everyone. Fuck it. Everyone likes
Yeah.
us.
I mean, it's
If you're 80
distinct
years
use
old
for
or
a
younger,
reason.
you can watch us.
Yeah.
If you're
But if you're a
over
newborn,
81,
why?
if you're a newborn, take a seat and let us parent you. Today,
Yeah, let
we're
us
your
fill
mom
you
and
in
dad.
on life.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're your mommy and daddy today.
We'll be your virtual parents.
Oh my god,
The right ones.
the ones that didn't abandon you.
Exactly.
Yeah, where's your mom and dad right now? They're here. You're listening to them. You're tuned in. So stick
Yeah, you
around.
tuned this to us.
By the way, it's sponsored by Pampers. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Sponsored by Pampers and Plan B. Make the
And
right
Plan-
decision.
Plan B. What the fuck is Plan B?
You don't know what that is?
I know what Plan B means. Is that a company?
Oh,
It's not a company.
no.
We're sponsored
know
by
what
the
the hell-
concept Plan B. That's so dumb.
I don't know the company name.
know. I don't know.
I
Durex,
need to
Trojan.
take Plan B. Oh? Of course you would know that name.
I don't know. Oh, we're thinking about condom. Never mind. That's not Plan B. I don't know.
Plan
What
B
the
is a
fuck?
contraceptive.
Shows what we know about fucking abortions.
Yeah, it shows.
By
what
the
you
way,
know now.
have I ever asked you what you think about abortions? I don't think I have.
That is, that's a good question. I feel like you haven't been the first person to ask me that.
Well, obviously. But I think it'll make a good 10 minutes of this podcast, so you better start. You better get to answering.
I hope the editor cuts that part out for a second.
Maybe.
How I feel. Oh, abortion. Let me tell you. I agree with abortion all the way.
Pro-life or
However,
pro-choice?
listen, I feel like it goes to a certain extent.
I agree.
I feel like what hurts the most is that the baby could be fully developed. However, it's like sometimes women are different, so we don't have the same symptoms as everyone else experienced. So, it might not show, the belly might not even grow, or unlike some people, their belly grows. Sometimes we don't even know what week we're in or whatever. So I feel like that's the sad thing. However, the baby could be fully developed, and then once that baby's developed, it's like, oh shit, what do I do? Because it has a heartbeat now. So what am I going to do? It's fully developed.
Mhm.
What am I going to do? And so the procedure for that is they begin to clip the limbs. So they start off with their legs, they start off with the other legs, they pull the body out, and then they pull the head out.
Mhm.
And what was more traumatizing is that I saw like a video, because I don't know, this girl that I follow, she posted it on her story. And so I was like, you know what, let me see from her perspective, because I'm all about like hearing both sides of the story.
Mhm.
So I wanted to see her perspective on it. And so once I saw that procedure, I kind of wanted to cry, because it's like, oh shit, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Tough shit.
Yeah.
I
mean, I understand if it's like a fetus and everything's fully not developed. Yeah, go ahead and like vacuum that shit out. Go ahead. However, once the baby's fully developed and now you got to actually kill the baby and like break the limbs off and shit, it's like, oh.
Well, it's not like I get what you're saying, but either way, it's alive. I mean, yeah, it's not developed at one point or another, but it's still alive like the whole time.
Yeah.
What I get what you're saying though, because when they're fully developed, they have more of a chance of like consciously sensing that than they do when before. But I think like, I mean, no one fucking remembers what life was like in the limbs in the womb. I'm not
Right.
saying that doesn't make it right, but I mean, both are very aware and conscious, in my opinion. Not aware to the point where they know what the fuck's going on, but aware to the point where they could maybe feel something.
Exactly.
In my opinion, I think anyone should have the choice to do what they want. I think if you're a woman and you really cannot support this baby, why put it through a hard, poverty-ridden life? Not poverty-ridden, excuse me. Full of a life of poverty. Why would you bring a baby into that and make your
Or
life
if you're
even
not
worse?
mentally okay, why would you
That too.
want to
That
this baby?
especially that. And you know, especially if like, what I do think it's not okay is when the girl is being a whore and having sex with a bunch of people.
Yo,
And
listen, because I agree with that.
yeah, but like if they're being a whore and they're getting like 5 babies a week, they're killing all of them. Bruh, you should just fucking be Hitler at that point. Fucking mass murdering ass. Fucking, what are you doing? Fucking Jeffrey Dahmer looking.
I
Stupid,
wouldn't
but
necessarily call them a whore. I would just feel like, listen, sometimes you just have to face the consequences of your action.
I would call him a whore. I mean, I guess it depends how often. I don't know.
I mean,
If you
like,
have
it depends
multiple
on the-
bodies and you're not being careful, you deserve to be. I mean, like, come on. That
You
you do
deserve
not
to,
deserve to. That's just bullshit in my opinion. That's killing a lot of unnecessary lives. Like, just fucking just calm down, horn dog. Like, slow your roll. I just don't agree with being able to have sex and all the time and just killing all these fucking babies that happen to pop up. Why? That's like a fucking dick move.
That's sort of how I feel about men too. It's like, oh, you know what? These guys can go around too and become a little whore, but then all of a sudden it's like they find out one of the girls they screwed around with is expecting. And they're like, "Oh, I don't want to keep it." But the girl's like, "I want to keep it."
Yeah,
So
that's
how
a
do you feel
hard
about
one,
that?
honestly. I think, man, that's where this is really getting. Ladies and gentlemen, our first episode. Wow. Okay, oh man. Okay, if the guy is like not there in her life, I don't think he has any right to choose whether the baby stays or not. But like what I mean by that is if the dude is not like a part of her life, like as a boyfriend or dad or whatever, I don't think he has any choice of whether this baby is alive or not. However,
Right.
the women should not expect the guy to want the kid or to not want the kid. Basically, the women should expect disagreement. If they, am I wording this right? Or am I?
No, go ahead. Just word it and like say this out, and then we can dissect this together.
I'm trying to think. If the woman has the kid, let's say she wants to keep it, okay? The dad doesn't want to keep it, or the guy doesn't want to keep it. The guy is not in her life at all, not even a girlfriend. They were a hookup. If they were a hookup, I think the woman has every right to keep the kid, but she should not expect the guy to just like be there all of a sudden. You know what I mean? That seems equal, in my opinion. This is kind
I
of
just
like
feel like if you listen, man, it's like regardless if you're in the heat of a moment or whatever, and you don't want kids, then just put the fucking rubber on and just call it a day, bro.
yeah,
Because
no,
realistically,
100%.
it's like she can put your ass on child support, realistically. And I hate to say, like, you know what, that kind of sucks. However, sometimes it's like you need to learn how to keep
Isn't
it
that only
in
if
your
they're
pants,
married
too.
though?
No.
No, really? Wow.
Yeah. I know. listen, from what I've heard and what I've read, I know that a girl can put that guy on child support.
Hmm. I could have sworn if it was like if they were married or divorced or whatever, but I did not know if they were not married, you can just do that.
This is from what I read.
Mm-hmm.
So I may not be 100% correct. However, that's from what I heard and from experiences that I heard too. Because, what was it? This girl that I used to go to school with, she was like, oh, yeah, something like that happened with my mother. And so she threatened to put my dad on child support. Otherwise, like, there was going to be a whole argument. Like, something bad was going to happen afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I guess her dad ended up paying child support or something. I didn't know the whole situation because, again, it's like, it's not my place to go in detail, and I didn't really know her like that. But it's like, that's what I remember and what she told me, and that's basically from what I read from a few articles.
That's pretty interesting, I guess. Well,
yeah.
If that's the case, then wrap it before you tap it, guys. That's your lesson right there. If you have a takeaway from any of this episode, it's wrap it or tap it.
I feel like this also goes for women too. Like, if you want to do that, go ahead. However, you have to be smart too.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't just expect the guy to do everything, and a guy can't expect the woman to do everything. I feel like there has to be that equal balance of both.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. We actually did get to like a good 10 minutes there of that topic. That's funny. No, yeah, I agree. So if you were to ask me what I think about abortions, I think women have every right to do whatever they want. I don't think that should be taken away from them.
However, you don't really know everyone's situation. You don't know the fucking circumstance. So I feel like no one has that right to judge.
That too. Like, I just hope, and hope with a very emphasis on hope, that people use it responsibly. I don't, because, okay, so that Roe versus Wade thing, apparently that did take effect on a few states, I heard.
Yeah.
California's fine, as far as I know. But I don't think shit like that, that's just not right, in my opinion. I don't understand. Like, I see the stupid fucking protests, and to be honest, I don't know why they're protesting in California. Why the fuck are they protesting in California? California is perfectly fine with abortions, as far as I'm aware. Why the fuck are they protesting in the beach?
I feel like they should take that protest somewhere else into where it really matters.
Like, they look so dumb. Like, seriously. And maybe I'm the dumbass, and maybe I haven't done my research and saw if California abortions are okay. I just don't understand. Like, hey, cool, we're protesting. But no one there, first of all, gives a shit. Because, frankly, everyone walks by them and just doesn't, they look at them like crazy. Second of all, most likely California is okay with abortions. One state I know that for sure isn't is Texas. I think they got affected by the Roe versus Wade court case.
Right.
As far as I'm aware. I just don't think that's right, to be honest. I think a woman should have rights to their body. I think they should be able to choose what they want. But I also hope that they're very responsible in that case. And they're not just doing, sex and killing babies all the time. That sucks.
What I feel about this is that abortion should be used in the right way. However, I feel like instead of taking women's rights, we also need to fix, the foster care systems and adoption systems. Like those type of places. Because realistically, if you don't want to kill the baby, fine. If you don't want them to kill, get an abortion when the baby's fully developed and it's kind of when it's too late, all right. However, at least let the government give good support and allow those shelters to be better. Those are the type of things that need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because why is it that sometimes these foster parents receive that money, however they don't use it on the kid, sometimes they use it on themselves. or these what's that place? The orphanage or whatever. How come those places aren't like good sanitation wise, hygienic wise? Like, why is it that on the outside, okay, it looks nice, but on the inside, there's children in there that's like struggling mentally? Why is it that they have dirty showers, or maybe sometimes they don't have the cleanest bed? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, to be honest,
feel
I
like
have no experience in the conditions of orphanages, but I kind of agree, I see where you're coming from.
because I hear, well, from what I went through, there's people that were in foster systems and they weren't the best places ever, and they say like, oh, save the kids, we got to save the kids. However, it's like, my brother in Christ, you're driving the kid on edge with the way you're talking to them, the way you're providing for them. It's like, I feel like, regardless, you know what, these kids already suffer enough. Like, they don't have parents, so why are you going to make them suffer more by putting them through this state?
Because they're selfish.
You know? Exactly. And that's where it also comes in. It's like, yeah, I get it. Killing the baby sounds wrong when it's fully developed. All right. However, what's the next step? Is adoption. You can put the child for adoption. However, these parents don't want to put these child in adoption centers because of the way they're ran.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation.
It's like anyone can pose and lie and say like, yeah, we're going to take special care of this baby. And then boom, next thing you know, that baby ends up killing themselves by the time they're 13 because they don't take care of them properly.
Yeah.
Or who knows? It's very slim. There's that slim chance. So it's like 50% chance that one becomes healthy and like goes really far. And there's that other 50% where it's like they don't take care of them properly.
Yeah, 100%. Parenting in this country especially is, terrible in my opinion. Very rare you'll see like that golden family,
A good movie to summarize this has to be, I think, Instant Family. Not the abortion part, however, the part in foster care.
I haven't seen that movie.
You gotta watch that movie because these 3 kids, they were living with their foster parents, and then they were like old, and what was it? They're like very grouchy and old. And so these kids are like kind of traumatized because number 1, their mother isn't the greatest. Number 2, they're always back and forth in different places. And so these 2 parents come in and they try to, try to provide them that good life because they want to take care of kids. They always wanted kids.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty crazy topic.
It is. However,
Yeah.
I get it. Not everyone can have kids. Not everyone can be in the right place for kids, and that's okay. However, what's not okay is that just because you were forced to have a kid doesn't mean you got to push it on everyone else. Or just because, your ignorance or stupidity,
Mm-hmm.
just because you want to go your way or the highway doesn't mean you got to ruin it for everyone else.
Sad thing is, they're still gonna do it.
Exactly. And so I feel like that's not how it should be. That's not how things should go. Yeah. And it's so funny because there was the fucking lady that was there for the Roe v. Wade shit. There was a lady there, and it's like, my brother in Christ, this goes for you and future generations to come. You want to fucking take that away?
I've seen that a lot of women protesting against some things that favor women, and I can. Okay, one really good example is if have you ever heard of the ERA?
No.
The ERA is the Equal Rights Amendment.
Okay.
This was something that started way back in the 70s. And to this day, it's still something that comes up for debate. Anyways, one of the main voices of this movement was going against a women that went against the ERA. ERA is pretty much the Equal Rights Amendment, which means pretty much anything a woman can do, a man can do. Pretty much everything, like no holds barred. If I'm
Right.
so that means women could be drafted. If you women like that, sure, cool, go for it. But there was little details like that from the ERA that stuck out to this woman that was debating against it, and she was talking about it from the man's point of view, where the man would like get screwed over from child support and shit. It would basically like screw over the guy, and I've seen that a lot where women will like read into shit like this, which I think everyone should do. I think if you're like gonna fight for something, you always look into what's gonna happen to anyone. But she looked into the opposite. So she looked into the ERA, and I forgot her name. If you want to edit a name editor, just get a little name up there. She was basically saying how the man would just get screwed from this amendment. It would totally defeat the whole purpose of equal rights.
But how?
Well, basically, like the man would like favor like have no like it would basically like when there's a divorce or there's a custody battle, the woman would always win everything.
No. This is where I come in and be like, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like the person who takes care of the child the most and is there constantly for that child deserves custody of
Yeah.
the child.
Right.
And unfortunately, in some cases, it's the woman. However, what gets me upset is that there's men out there that actually do take care of their children and want to be there. However, there's times where it's like it's not shown enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what needs to be shown more in the society, is that men do actually take care of their children and play that single parent role.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of men are irresponsible out there, but a lot are responsible. And same for women. It's the same thing. Basically, the ERA was going to make it so it favored women, and the woman that was going against it saw that beforehand, and she was against that. One thing I found interesting. So, you guys can look it up if her name and search up the Equal Rights Amendment. You guys will find her. In that same video, it's like in a talk show. They're both talking. It's both opponents, one that favors the amendment and one that goes against it. And the host of that show would ask them both about what they think about gay marriage. That's where I think it got interesting, because the girl that was favoring the amendment was very hush hush about it, but she basically was saying, I'm okay with it. The girl that was against the Equal Rights Amendment was very homophobic. Extremely. And I thought that was interesting because, first of all, at the time, that was a very normal outlook. At the time, if you did not like gay people, that was okay. No one really cared about that. But the girl that was for the amendment, you'll notice that when you watch the video, she doesn't talk about it too much. She kind of avoids the subject, actually. And my theory on that is because I think she was also against gay marriage, but she just wanted to say the right thing to keep her statement valid. To kind of like win the favors of people who were for gay marriage and for the ERA. In my opinion, that's fucked up. Trying to make people think your views are different than they really are. But that's politics in general, you know. That's they always lie. But
my thing is that I agree with that. Listen, I can only sympathize that to an extent. It's like, number one, you're not being your authentic self, and it's like, you know what? Okay, you're fighting for something else, but it's like, okay, you're not being you.
Yeah. You support one thing, but you don't support the other, or at least you want to make people think. Yeah, you want to make people think that you do support this thing, but then you don't even go into depth with it. I kind of commended the girl that was going against the amendment. I kind of commended her honesty. I liked that she was honest about her homophobia. It was very outdated. I will say that. And it was very judgmental, but she was honest. And I think honesty in the end kind of wins, especially when it comes to trying to win people's hearts over. I don't know. I didn't like how the other girl was very hush hush about it. That was just like something that I noticed immediately. She didn't really give any of her 2 cents into the subject when the talk show host asked about that.
But realistically, that's people today. People will say one thing and they'll be like, yeah, let's go. I believe in this. But next thing you know, it's like they do something completely opposite. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, weren't you just praising this, but you're doing that?
No, it's very interesting too. You look up anything on the ERA, probably one of the most popular topics about the ERA right now is the fact that it actually got to the number of votes that it was supposed to 20 years ago. And now people are trying to say like, oh, is it going to be validated, or is it going to actually pass now? Like they recently got that vote. It was like the last vote they needed to solidify the ERA. But I do not think they are going to. I think it is way too long past to even get near that. But to be honest, I don't think women want the ERA. I mean, I don't know. The ERA pretty much no holds, but I tried looking into it, and from what I've learned, it's pretty much anything. Women can do anything that a man can do. Equal rights. That's the whole point. But to be honest, I don't know. I can't speak on this. Maybe you can speak on this a little more. I think women have it pretty good as far as today's standards. I mean, that's just what I see. I think women are getting their way a lot more nowadays than they were like 30 years ago. I don't know.
Besides, like, abortion, I feel like.
Besides abortion, yes. I still think that's
Like, what
something
more?
that needs to be like solidified. Like, I think women should have the right to do that.
It's like, what more do you want from society at this point? We have the same rights as men. Besides abortion. I don't know. It's just sometimes I look at my phone and then I see on the media, like, till this day, there's still something new added. And I'm like, okay. Well, I can agree with this to an extent. However, I disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And what gets me mad is that when a woman says something or speaks about something, like a very controversial topic, it's no longer you're a feminist, now you're a misogynist. And then it's like, well, how am I being a misogynist if I'm just speaking my piece and my truth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they want, though. They want the divide. They want people to fight each other constantly. If you're not for one thing, you're the devil. And that's how it's been for a long time now, and frankly, I hate that. That's really annoying. I think it really lowers our standards of what we can debate about, and honestly, it kind of...
I feel like nowadays you can't really have a good debate without, something coming up.
Yeah.
It's like if you try to have a debate, it's like automatically like, boom, you're canceled, or boom, don't talk to this person, unfollow this person, unsupport, like, don't support them. And it's like,
Cancel
why?
them. I think that's the worst one.
That's what gets me so mad, because it's like, well, realistically, is this what we have become now? We can't have a debate and actually talk.
Yeah.
We can't like talk about something.
100% no. Not these days. It's fucked, to be honest. It's really fucking messed up.
Like, I'll give you a good example with like, what is it? I saw this post, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, guys, now it's your turn. What is something that a woman or a girl does that turns you off or gives you the ick? And so I was going through them, and you know what? They made me laugh, because it's like, okay, fair point. But there was this one where the guy was like, after she finishes eating, she unbuttons her pants. And so, you know what? I did laugh, and I was like, okay, funny. I could see why that would give you the ick. However, it's like, you know what? After I finish eating a good meal, of course I'm going to unbutton my pants because I feel bloated. But the next slide after that was a woman saying, this is very misogynist. This proves that you men aren't, blah, 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 blah. And so that's where I was like,
oh,
wow.
man. Wow.
That's we can like say our icks about men, but the second a man tells us their icks that we do, it's now misogynist.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, no, 100%. You know, and I know it can go both ways. Men can shit on women too a lot of the time, but in the end, people just need to agree to disagree. That's been a real problem these days. Just people cannot like stand different opinions. And to be honest, I mean, there was nothing wrong with that. I don't think. What the fuck was the problem with that? Like, it's an ick. It's something he doesn't like. It's one person. Why the fuck does it like?
Why should one person be the judge?
Like, why does it represent all
entire
men?
Group?
That doesn't make any sense. Like, shit like that. Oh my god, it's annoying.
And what else gets me mad is that men will look at us and be like, "Oh, well, you're just gonna use me for money," or "Oh, well, you're just gonna use me for this." And it's like, why are you letting one woman base, like, you know, for the future? Like, why do you let one woman determine that?
Yeah.
When not all women are like that. And it's same thing with, like, a woman talks to me about something. They're like, well, I don't want to date any men anymore because of this. And it's like, well, why are you basing one immature little boy off of a whole bunch of male species?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
That's
It's
what I don't
it's like
understand.
one step away from stereotypes. Stereotypes, excuse me. Jesus Christ. I'm just making up words now. Man. Well, Darla, I think that's going to wrap up our first episode.
That was a great
That was a great
topic.
start. I'm not going to lie. I like that. Got me a little heated. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like what you see, go ahead and just stick around. Tune in for our next episode. We'll be having an episode every other Wednesday. So make sure you put that on your notes. Woohoo again, fucking dude, you know what you're reminding me of? The fucking
What?
Pato, the yippee! That stupid shit.
Pato!
Oh my god. Next episode we're gonna talk about why I hate that. Why I absolutely want to kill that person. But anyways.
Next episode, I'll tell you why I love spamming Daniel's phone with Pato.
Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time, and we'll see you around.